All right, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Hopefully everybody's okay. Come on. All righty. So, looks like we have, what, Keith in here, and Hoonigan, and Rank. How is everybody today? I did seen I did see Rank earlier today on Mama Bear's stream for a little bit while I was watching it while I was planting. All right. Let's go ahead and do. Hey, Plowboy, how are you? Seen you earlier today too. Should have had all this stuff done already, but no, I was busy doing a few other odds and end things around the house before I started. So, of course, add some mods here. That way, when I go to start everything, it won't work, right? Isn't that how that works? Seems to work that way for me, anyway. Hmm. John Carter, welcome to the stream, buddy. I don't know if this is your first stream or not. I can't remember. Playing the waiting game with the weather. No. I thought I had that in here. Uh, integrated. Where are them dumb things at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Hmm. There they are. Whoop. All right, now let's start. Maybe. Hoonigan, Hoonigan. Hey, Keith. Hey, Plowboy. Everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully it'll be an all right stream. Um, so far everything's going okay. We'll see. Means I decided to add those last minute mods. It'll probably throw everything off. Hey, trio. Yeah, waiting game with the weather. I don't know if you caught my little short there that I posted just a little bit ago, but I was had 140 acres in for the day, and that stupid government juice gauge was flashing at me, so I holy Toledo, here we are. Wow. Can you believe it? We didn't mess anything up yet. Yet. Keyword yet. Anyway, so it was flashing at me, so I suppose I decided I better quit and get back to shop so I can fill that thing up tomorrow morning with fuel. And that if you're not savvy to what I mean by government juice, I mean that stupid DEF stuff that we have to have on our diesels now. You know, that stuff that goes in that stupid hole right there that doesn't do anything but cause issues. Alrighty, so we're gonna play on county line again tonight, and I know what I need to do quick. HUD input. Okay, I don't want to do flight, but I do want to turn my multiplier on. And let's see. Oh, yes. I need to fix this, by the way. I should have not activated my put version 3 in here and last night, and it screwed up the colors I got on this one. And I figured out some of the problems with that's exactly right, John. That is exactly right. It will not be all electric. I'm sorry, but all electric is not the answer. I have nothing against. What in the heck? So I take one thing off of here. Now we got a whole nother thing acting weird. Anyway, I have nothing against electric vehicles per se, but they are not the answer. Most of you people that are in here are farmers or of the understanding of how farmers work, or people that live in a rural area, or ranchers, or any of that kind of stuff. So in the middle of the winter time, when you go out to start a tractor, a pickup, a car, whether it's a diesel or gas, why won't it start usually? What's the biggest culprit behind something not starting? The batteries. So, do you think that a regular battery that starts a vehicle that doesn't work very good in the middle of the winter time when it's 25 below, that a stupid battery operated car, pickup, or anything else like that's going to work when it's that cold either? No, it's not. Now, like I said, I ain't saying that there's anything wrong with having electric vehicles. They have their place. I think that people that live in cities and stuff like that that don't have to commute very far are fine. But people who live on ranches and farms and stuff like that who can put 300 and some miles on in a day just running back and forth getting parts and doing odds and ends things and running around the farm, they aren't going to work. I'm sorry. Hey, Jake. Way, how are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I kind of broke it. What I did is, actually, I know how to fix this. Hang on a second. I know how to fix this. I do. I do. Oh, fiddle. The way to fix this is what I'm doing right now. Is I should have activated that mod. Is what I should have not have done. Has anybody ever used this CB help radio helper mod? Any? I used it here a while back, and it's kind of neat. But after about 20 minutes, it gets really annoying, in my opinion. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I watched a deal here the other day on the new 8R that's got the new electric IVT, but it still has a diesel engine. You know, now to me that makes sense because it works like similar to what a locomotive will work like. That makes sense to me. Um, I just don't. I just don't think that all electric with batteries is the way that is the answer. I just don't. I mean, like I said, and for one, we don't have the infrastructure for it, especially here where I live. I think there's one plug-in in town for something. So the knotheads don't think about that. A, B, C, D, E. All right, where did that stupid thing's at? Come on, Expendables. So that's, there we go. I need to deactivate that one, and that should fix my other one. Should not have threw that in here. So that's how I feel about the whole electric thing. Go ahead, let them have it in the cities where the infrastructure's there for you to plug that stuff in, and you don't need to be driving 300-400 miles a day. You only got to drive 50 miles a day, and they already have smog problems and that kind of stuff. I think I have no problem with that. You know, in delivery vans and that kind of stuff, no problem. But what makes me so mad about the government, which we really shouldn't be getting into the government and politics, that kind of stuff per se, but this whole stupid idea, let's come up with a problem to fix a problem, right? And we're just going to put a band-aid and it's going to fix everything instead of looking at the whole picture. That's what pisses me off. It's just stupid because it's not going to fix everything. It just isn't. So why do they think that's the answer? And what makes me mad on top of all of this is I still think that's part of the whole fuel cost problem here lately. It's just to help to push their agenda for electric cars, because then people get mad because they're spending as much money as they're spending on gas, and so then they're gonna automatically want to go to the whole electric car thing. So that's how I feel about that. Right, wrong, indifferent, I don't know. You know me. I'm not scared to show my opinion. So, um, alrighty. Multiplicator missions. What the heck? I'll probably add that dumb mod and wished I wouldn't have added it. I don't want that. Come on. I really gotta get me a new mouse. This mouse is about to drive me nuts. The scroll wheel's acting funky on it. For some reason. Alright, so honestly, we'll get the plane here quick. Just, and I don't want wheels. Because this right here, this mod, you know how things were doing goofy stuff last night with how it was pushing and then I had that combine do the sink into the ground thing? This mod right here is what caused that. Some things work fine as far as making a game more realistic, but there's some things too that just make it more, I don't know, more annoying than realistic, if that makes any sense to anybody. And I play with all kinds of mods in the first place, as you can see. So, um, I think a guy can get too much too, which I've probably did that already. Alrighty, there we go. Let's start this all over here again. Anyhow, so anyway, that's how I feel about the electric cars thing. Not against it, but I don't think it should be a band-aid to fix it. It's not a fix at all. I think it should be an option. It's just like it's an option if I want to buy a Ford and the guy next to me wants to buy a Chevy and the guy next to me wants to buy a Dodge, even though the two guys next to me are a bunch of idiots. Anyway, um, that option should be there. I mean, go ahead and have the option of having them. But I think, honestly, I think they need to really delve into the whole hydrogen thing. I think that's a better option. Making the best real life series? Good luck, Hoonigan. It's not as easy as you think. I actually have this mod that no one ever plays with. Never plays with. That makes things even more realistic than I play already. I tried and tried. It came out in 19, and I tried and I tried to get Kadirk to use it, and he would never use it. He looked into it, and he would never use it. So I gave him a bad time. I said, well, that's because then after a month you can't buy a new X9. Yeah. Oh, I really do like Kadirk. He's a heck of a good guy. Good content creator, really is. So just because I make a little bit of fun and poke fun, that doesn't mean that I don't like him. Because I expect to be same people to do the same thing to me. I'd poke fun at me. I don't care. My feelers don't get hurt that easy. So get rid of that mod. I still got this thing. I gotta fix it again. All right. Now, frame color is medium red satin. So we had these as crimson, didn't we? No, we had scarlet. Where'd my scarlet red go? Oh, you son of a... Not exactly what we had, but that'll work. Well, I'll tell you what there, Plowboy. I'll put my 99 Super Duty against any of them hunk of junk. The only good thing about a Dodge, and they're not even a Ram anymore, they're a Fiat, is Cummins. Otherwise, and I had a 95 when it was still... Oh, that's stupid. I forgot to get rid of that dumb manual attach mod. Where are you at? Manual attach. But anyway, I have a 99 Super Duty that has 397,000 miles on it. Running is just fine. I own everything but a Chevy. Comes to the three major brands. I didn't mind my 95 Dodge other than the Cummins was alright and everything else that was around it was junk. I think I had it for, I think I got rid of it when it had, what, 85,000 miles on it? Just shy of 90,000 miles. And I put 3, and I bought it when it had 35,000 miles on it. I put 3 sets of track bars in that piece of junk. And the guy at Dodge didn't want to warranty it the last time because he told me the reason why it was doing that's because I had oversized tires on it. And I politely informed the guy that that's not what the problem was, because I had two 85/75 R16s on there, and factory was 265s. So I go, one size high, bigger than what the factory is not going to cause the track bar to go out. And well, you can go ahead and put your O2 Chevy against my 99 Ford. I don't care. Bring it. But anyway, back to what I was getting at. One size bigger tires is not going to take out track bars. I asked him, I says, is it the same track bar that in the Cummins 3/4 ton and 1 ton that you're using in the V8 version of your 3/4 ton and that kind of stuff? Well, yeah, why would they change it? And I go, well, I don't know, about 800 pounds difference in engine weight there, you stupid idiot, sitting over the front axle. So that's got a lot to do with it. That Cummins is a lot heavier engine than what a V8 is, or even the V10. Anyway, it really don't matter. I mean, it's the same thing as the John Deere, Ford, New Holland, Case IH argument. Anything that's man-made is going to break down. That's just all there is to it. And I've been around. I mean, I'm a diesel mechanic. I am, that's what I went to college for. So I've worked on all of them. So what the heck? And by working on all of them, like I said, they all break down. They all been around on scratched my heads at certain things like, what the heck kind of dumb. All right. Really? Are you going to tell me? So one of the mods I put in today is going to make courseplay not work right? Of course. Of course. Of course courseplay wouldn't work, because why would I just... And I'm not sure what would have I put in that would have made courseplay not work. So without further ado, in this typical fashion of mine, always gotta have something goofing off. Always something gotta be acting up. Wow, got 10 people in here watching me not my courseplay act up on me not work right. All right, fine, fine. Ugh. Come on. Yes. Jesus, tweeze, man. I even farted around afterwards last night with the whole thing. So, fine. Be that way. Just be that way, you stupid game. I'm sure buildings aren't what's messing it up. Ah, the heck with it. I ain't going to worry about any of that anyway. I do want that. So, need to go in here and I'm about to sneeze. Ah. Yeah. Whew. My mic on now? See, I thought I'd shut the thing off when I did the sneeze, and I must, anyway. So, look. See, must be some goofball mod I had activated that does not like course play. So I'll have to figure that out afterward. Whoop. Yeah, I've been sitting here ranting about how yuppies ruined the pickup. Hey, Kobe. Welcome, buddy. Welcome, everybody, to the stream. What the heck? Yeah. Yeah, I was sitting there yucking about how in the late to mid 90s, the yuppies ruined the half-ton pickup because they had to have a half-ton pickup to, you know, they wanted a four-wheel drive so they can go hunting on one time a year with their buddies, the doctors and lawyers, and pull around their big fifth-wheel campers, and then they whined because they rode too rough, so auto industry decided to make half-ton pickups a lot lighter, so they rode better, and then they found out that half-ton pickups weren't made very well, made to pull around their big heavy campers and stuff, so they were taking out transmissions and brakes weren't working and all this other good stuff. So us farmers said, okay, we'll just buy 3/4 tons of diesels. That's fine, you know. Early 90s, everybody had a pretty decent diesel except for Chevy and their Ucky 6.5. Ugh, what a hunk of junk that thing is. Anyway, so then all the yuppies decided they had to have a diesel to pull around their big camper with and their big boat, right? Right? They just had to have that big fancy diesel. And then the auto industry listened to the yuppies again. It's too stinky. It's too loud. Ew. I don't want to be seen in my slacks driving around something like that because it's dirty and yucky and stinky and loud and ugh. So now, in order to have a vehicle that gets somewhat close to what an old half-ton used to do in the late 70s and early 80s, you got to have a $100,000 one-ton or 3/4 ton vehicle that's a bunch of ridiculous crap on it, so the yuppies can drive them. You know, that's just like, yes, I watch Brian's farming videos and I like watching that channel, but I had to die laughing this year. And there's other farmers that do this crap too, but I had to die laughing, right? Earlier this year, was it last fall? When his dad goes, you know, it's time I want a new pickup. So they go looking for a new pickup for his dad, right? His dad gets a new pickup and doesn't get the top of the line pickup out there. Gets a nice pickup. You know, for a farm pickup, he got a nice pickup. And here's Brian. Oh, there's a Denali, an HD Denali. Oh, I can even get a good deal on it. I'm going to buy it, even though I don't need a new pickup. But by God, I'm going to buy it. Who in the hell in the right mind needs a Denali for a frickin' farm pickup? That is the most ridiculous, stupid thing, in my opinion. I mean, that ain't any different than Yahoo's buying, you know, top-of-the-line Ford and top-of-the-line Dodge. I mean, I just don't get that. It's a farm pickup. You're going to beat the heck out of it. It's going to get scratched up. You know, a Denali. You're going to have the windows rolled down and dirt rolling in there. And I just do not get the people that think they got to have something like that for a farm pickup. Just stupid. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm glad you can make it, Keith. What time is it over there? Is it early morning over there, right? Yeah, it's early morning over there. It's Tuesday morning. Oh, yeah, they're definitely pavement princesses. They sure are. But there are plenty of people that, matter of fact, I had to laugh because one of the farmers around here used to drive them all the time. They had 3 brothers, and they all 3 had Denalis. They had to get a new Denali all about every other year for their farm. Well, guess what? Them 3 brothers aren't farming anymore. You know, I mean, it's not any different than if you buy a Ford, you know, not even an XLT Lariat. A Lariat used to be top of the line. Now it's, man, they got so damn many packages on vehicles anymore, you can't keep track of any of them. So, you know, King Ranch editions, and I don't like King Ranches. Even though I'm a Ford guy, I do not like that package because you have to get them two-tone, and most of the time the two-tone's an ugly color. Michaela, how are you? Well, I'm still here. I'm doing my typical rant, so I'm doing a rant, you know, about yuppies and how they've ruined vehicles. Anyway, 4:37. Ah, so you're up early, getting ready to head out to work over there, are you assuming? Well, good for you, McKnight. Glad that the frickin' you could afford a 2022 GMC Sierra HD. Yeah, whatever. But even then, do you really need something like that? I mean, honestly, just one of them things where you got it because you probably obviously could afford it and that you wanted it. I get the whole want and need things, two different things, but yeah, camper. That's a whole other, that could be a whole nother rant too. $80,000 thing you use 2 or 3 times a year. It's kind of like a boat. All that stuff's cool. Really, it is. If I had the extra money, I'd probably have some of that, you know. Hey, does anybody know what boat stands for? Does anybody? Can anybody tell me? I'll give everybody a minute or two here. You know what boat stands for? Yeah, well, thankfully we didn't have any nasty storms here. And the rain we've gotten has been pretty good. We had a little shower tonight as I was leaving the field. Got 140 acres done. Hey! Hey, Hodge, how you doing, buddy? Glad you can make it in here. Anyway, so no one knows what boat stands for. Well, if anybody that's ever owned boats for very long, it's kind of like the same thing with a camper. It stands for bust out another 1,000. It seems like you're always working on a damn boat. After they get a couple years old, man, there's always some stupid little thing wrong with the dang things. Kind of like back in the day when everybody had snowmobiles. You're always fiddle farting around with them dumb things too. They sit all year long. Oh, wow, I got 11 people watching. Cool, 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 cool. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We're just going to harvest some triticale. We're just going to fart around on the county line map tonight. I kind of like this map, and so that's what we're going to do. And so far, the only automation we're using is course play. I don't have any routes for auto drive made up yet, so we're just going to fumble along here. Hoonigan ought to be mad because not everything's John Deere. It's actually some other colors on the game tonight. Wonder where Ninja's at. Ninja's not in here. I seen him earlier today. He was in Mama Bear's stream, and Mama Bear had a pretty decent little stream. I was watching there for a little while I was letting the GPS drive the corn planting tractor, and I was planting a field I was in, almost had a mile-long rows. Boy, those are sure nice. So they were like just like 3/4 of a mile long. Those are nice. Except for if you're not careful, you can fall asleep on those longer rows like that. we got a couple fields where we got one field where we got what 6 pivots in there. So, 5 pivots. It's 3/4 section, and so we got that where we actually got mile-long rows on that particular field. Well, that must mean there, plowboy, that your boat must be a old rowboat or a little flat bottom. You know, them little flat bottom John boats were really good little boats. You know what they want from one of them little suckers now? You used to be able to pick up one of them little flat bottom John boats, and they were perfect for fishing. Well, around here they're perfect. You didn't have we don't have a lot of huge lakes per se. But anyway, they didn't cost you nothing. If you wanted to put a little trolling motor on there, or actually do the old-fashioned row with oars, bet you could. And get a couple, 3 people in there, and you can get a lot of fishing done with one of them little flat-bottom John boats. Man, now I tried to pick one up here a couple years ago. Man, you used to be able to pick them up for like a couple $100 in pretty good shape. Oh no, not anymore. We're talking like 1200. For a stupid flat bottom boat. Anyway. Yeah, well, boats like that don't cost you much. I'm just talking about, just a little, 15-foot, 16-foot boat with a nice little inboard outboard, 200, 250, 300 horse inboard outboard. Them things, that's what I'm telling you, man. That bust out another 1,000 is not a wrong term, because I've been around plenty of them stupid things. My gosh. Every time we turn around, you just spending money trying to get a stupid thing to work. Yeah, I know. You're right, Keith. That's what I agree. That's why I don't have one, because what I think they're worth and what they're asking for are 2 different things. It's like, I'm sorry, I ain't gonna pay you $1,200 for a stupid little 10-foot flat bottom John boat or an 8-foot. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you? Alrighty, so I'd have been using my noggin. Should have been over here earlier. Oh, oof. Wow. Reading chat and about took out the fence. That's why reading chat and texting and playing farm sims is about as dangerous as texting and driving, right? Yeah, I agree, Keith. You're exactly correct on that deal. Yeah, we'll do this little in-cab view. I hardly ever do an in-cab view. Pretty good modeling. Better look up here before I run into the dang fence with my tractor, too. Yes, they're ranked 29. Yes, I have watched Duffy, and Duffy's a lot like I am. he's he's one of them no holes barred. You're gonna hear his opinion. He ain't gonna whitewash nothing. So yes, I have watched Duffy. I haven't watched him in a long time. And another one I like to watch that's kind of like me that he'll tell you how it is that farming and fabrication or whatever the heck it is. That guy they got a huge dairy somewhere back east Ohio somewhere. Farming and fabrication or whatever. He's the one. First time I was watching him, or was it Duffy? No, I think it was him. He was doing something with I don't know what they were. He had a big 4-wheel drive John Deere, a newer one. Maybe that was Duffy. I don't remember now. But anyway, he took the vent thing out. The ones that are up in the side, in the cab, you know. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. As soon as this combine's because it's the same as in the combine here. Maybe it'll show it. But I about died laughing when I watched that. He he, I'm watching him, right? And he's these vents like these the vents over here, these little round vents, you know, these little round ones right here. And I think he was in an 9R. But anyway, it's true. The things if you pull, you turn them, you know, like a quarter of a turn. You can pull them out, you know, and you can take a can and it fits inside that thing exactly. Just it fits in there snug, and there's enough room. You can put it back up in there and twist it up in there. So he was. Oh, I about died laughing. Oh, he he pulls that thing out and pulls the bush light down out of there, you know. And he's like, "See, these John Deeres are pretty good tractors. They come with beer holder coolers." I'm going, "Geez." I think that maybe that was Duffy. That sounds a lot like something Duffy would do. But yeah, I watch Duffy and I watch some of the other channels. One of the channels that I used to really watch and I really liked was Harmless Farmer, Andy D. Whitler. That guy, if he didn't inspire you like Kagarino does, I mean, you know, because I don't know if anybody in his channel has ever, it's in my chat, ever watched Harmless Farmer and Andy D. Whitler. But he had a farming accident when he was, I don't know, how old was he? 6, something like that, and he lost his arms. He got tangled up in an auger. And he grew up using his feet. He had prosthetics, but he never used them. But he used his feet for everything. So that guy, I loved watching him, man. He drove with his feet, and he did, you know, pull wrenches with his feet. I mean, I don't know how he did everything. I even watched a couple episodes out shooting guns with his feet. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. Going the wrong way. But anyway, he passed away here this last spring, I think, because he ended up having cancer. But anyway, and his daughter's still doing the channel. She's still taking and doing the channel. But anyway, anybody in here wants to watch, go watch. It's called Harmless Farmer is the name of his channel. And you can watch some of his old videos. That guy just, he's really inspiring, just like Kagarino. I mean, you know, he didn't let something like that ruin his life, and just keeps going. Yeah, Ninja. Hey, buddy, you finally made her. Yeah, there was a lot of people back in them days. They didn't respect that equipment, you know, PTO shields and that kind of stuff, and lost a lot of people, you know, let alone get hurt really bad, are dead too. I mean, because they didn't respect that stuff. So, you know, when it comes to a dangerous job, and you know, in all reality, farming's pretty dangerous. And, you know, we got a lot of, not saying it's any less dangerous than some, or any more dangerous than some other occupations out there, but it's a pretty dangerous occupation. Oh, I got a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, in 2 weeks, I'm going to have 2 weekends in a row where I'm not going to be able to stream much because he's coming out and we're going to go prairie dog hunting and drink a beer or two. And he used to be, was actually the best man in my wedding that no longer exists. But anyway, anyways, best friend of mine. He, when he was, I want to say 13, he got tangled up with PTO, caught his coveralls. And he's lucky to be alive. Yeah, Hodge. You know, it's just like I was watching. I watch Our Wyoming Life once in a while and laugh at that guy. I mean, most of the stuff they do is pretty much ranching because I grew up on a ranch. But anyway, he was talking about how he can't. And the laws have changed since I was in school. He was talking about he can't hire any kids under the age of 16 unless they are family, which I think is, you know, a family, which that isn't changed. You could hire at the age of 12, right? And but anyway, when I turned 14, you could take what they call a tractor safety course, which is usually put on by an FFA. It was FFA endorsed. So I remember taking a tractor safety course, and you get a little card thing, and it was like a license, like your learner's permit or your school permit. And you could go work for farmers and ranchers and stuff as long as you had that. But evidently they don't have that no more or something. But yeah, there's some stuff that I remember to this day. You know, I'm gonna be 49 in August. I'm 48 years old. There you go. That now you know how old I am. I'm an old fart. Um, you know, and I took that when I was 14. So what was that? 34 years ago, right? No. Yeah, 34 years ago. And there's some stuff that I remember when I took that course that it was ingrained into my head that I can still remember to this day. Like one of the videos they watched was a safety course on articulating tractors, like these. This versatile here is called an articulating four-wheel drive tractor, and they showed a scene of a guy killing his fake wife at the time, but it's still when you're 14, it it was ingrained into my brain because she come running out of the house and had some piece of mail or something like that and reached up there to give it to him in the cab, and he reached around there to down there to get it, and he hit the steering wheel and it turned sideways and it crushed her between the joints. And another thing that I remember from that course was to this day, I'm still deathly scared of anhydrous. That stuff just scares the little bejeebus out of me. Because that is nothing to be trifled with. That stuff will ruin your day. But I remember that it was a 2-day course. And was it during the first day that we were going over that? But I remember they were demonstrating on how attracted to water anhydrous is. And the reason they were doing that is because how important it is if you get an anhydrous burn or you get it in your eyes, you're supposed to use water immediately to get it out of your eyes or off of your skin. And they had, I don't know if anybody in here is old enough. Keith probably is old enough, not to be picking on you, Keith, or anything, but old enough to remember, 5-gallon cans when you got chemicals or oils and stuff. Remember they were 5-gallon cans. They were metal. They weren't plastic. 5-gallon jugs. They were metal, right? And they had one of them rigged up that had anhydrous in it, and they had a dropper, an eyedropper thing, rigged up on top of this thing. And them old tin cans like that were pretty substantial. They weren't nothing to be laughed about as far as. Anyway, and they released that one drop of water into that can with the anhydrous in it, and it just, I mean, like snap of a finger, crushed that thing like a pop can. I mean, just snap right now, flat. And I'll never forget that to this day. I mean, so I still don't like anhydrous. I have a lot of respect for that stuff because that stuff is nasty stuff. I mean, it's one of our cheapest forms of fertilizer for nitrogen, but it's still, oof. Yeah, there you go, Rank. That's what I'm talking about. Well, we call them tractor permits around here, but farmer permit, that'd be the same thing. The DEF? No, I'm going to put it in the morning. I parked my tractor because I got to fuel up and get DEF, and I'll do all that tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually going to be a maintenance day. I got to grease the planter. I normally do that on Monday, but I didn't today because I wanted to get going. We was a couple days, a couple days where we didn't get some planting done because of the rain, and where we didn't have a couple days of planting. I didn't grease my planter like I usually do on Mondays. Had a couple days where it didn't get used, so. But anyway, yeah, no, I did. I'll get her in the morning when I fuel up. Well, you're lucky, Plowboy. It kind of, it's not as big of a deal as it used to be. I mean, there's still plenty of people around here that use anhydrous. Thankfully, we don't. But the farmer I work for, he used to. That stuff just, it's dangerous. You've got to keep on top of it. It's, and technology as far as safety valves and all that kind of stuff is way better now than what it was. So, you know, so it's not quite as bad, but it's still, I mean, I mean, equipment-wise, it's not as bad. Let's put it that way. And hydrous is still just as bad as it is any other day. Cool. We got 13 people in here. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hope everybody's enjoying the stream and listening to me yik yak about all kinds of goofball things. Really not. I already did my rant for the night, so. Just playing some farting around here on county line here. Not a very played on map. It's an actual FS17 map that's been converted for last 2, and this is the latest conversion. It's okay. There's some things that aren't quite right with it, like you can see the missing fill type for the triticale. Otherwise, I haven't found any other things really majorly wrong with it yet, other than land prices. I do need to go in there and check that in XML, because if it's still $60,000 a hectare, which I remember correctly, $60,000 a hectare computes out to like $18,000 an acre, and that is, wow, way overpriced for land. Ninja, you missed the rant. It was an early rant this time, Ninja. See that way. See, if I do that, I keep everybody guessing, and if they're in here watching because they want to hear my rant for the night, it means they got to watch all the time that way. See, because they never know when I'm going to throw that rant out there. Oh, phooey. Oh, come on, Hodge. You think so? Yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure he could probably say something to get me going. Don't take much. Don't take much from me and my opinionated personality that I have. Anyway. Yeah, I guess you'll have to rewatch it. Matter of fact, during my rant, I really hope I didn't make McKnight mad at me because I wasn't meaning to make him mad. I hope I didn't anyway. If you're still in here, McKnight, I wasn't meaning to make you mad or pick on you or anything. If you got the money to have a pickup like that, buddy, then have a pickup like that. That's the biggest thing, you know. There's a difference between need and want, and want is one of them things. And if you can afford the want, then heck, why not? I guess. I just had to laugh at, like I was talking about Ryan's farming videos that, during that whole thing when his dad was getting that new pickup. Well, I'm not going to get a new pickup. My pickup don't have that many miles on it. It's fine. And then turns around and buys that HD Denali. I just you needed that like a hole in the head. Because trust me, if I could afford it, I'd have a brand new. I probably wouldn't have a 1 ton like I got now. I'd go to a 3/4 ton crew cab short box. And I don't know if I'd have a 6.7. I don't know if I'd have a diesel again. I like my diesel. I've had a couple of them. But I kind of like that new 7.3 Herc Godzilla engine that Ford's got. That's everybody else when it comes to their heavy duty. They're putting these stupid dinky engines in. And Ford finally got a brain and went and decided, hey, we're not ever going to get very good fuel mileage out of a heavy duty pickup. We just as well start putting some real engines in these things again. And the other cool thing about the 7.3 and the newer Super Duty Fords is it's got true dual exhaust on it, so they're really easy to make them sound really nice. So I might, if I had the money, I'd seriously consider going that route instead of going the 6.7s. And then this year they come out with a 6.8, which is basically a detuned version of the 7.3. Well, you are correct, Plowboy. That's why I was talking about with the whole, earlier when we were talking about the electric vehicles thing, when a diesel or a tractor or, I mean, even gas engines don't start that great when it's really, really cold out. And why don't they start that good? It's because of the battery that cranks them. So we're going to make a vehicle that's going to drive around all on a battery, and it ain't going to work for credit in states like mine where I live. We had some wind chills this December, last December, got down to 55 below. You know, that's pretty cold. And it's, you know, as far as consistent, it's nothing for us to have 25, 35 below as far as a normal. You know, 55 below is a little colder than normal, but you get temperatures that cold, electric vehicles just aren't going to work. Surprising this triticale is yielding like it is. Really not how triticale is supposed to be. Somebody needs to inform some of our modders that use this stuff. Triticale is not a combine crop. It is a forage crop. Yeah, green chop triticale. It gets really tall. You get a lot of tonnage. You can bale it also. And then chop it in a tub grinder. Grind it. Anyway, I know around here that's triticale, Sudan, and Sudex, all basically the same thing. That's what around here what they do with it. They green chop it. But hey, at least it's a different crop, you know, different fruit type or crop type, whatever you want to call it. You know. It's nice to have some different stuff in a map. I really, really wish that hopefully I could befriend me some map makers within this adventure of mine and this channel. I want to get together with somebody and we can make a true Nebraska map. Yeah, you're exactly correct, Hodge. You combine triticale makes great straw? Oh, I suppose. Well, I'm just saying around here that most people around here don't. It's used as a forage crop around here. Not saying you can't. Obviously you can, but I'm just saying it's not. And there again, doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I'm just going by what I know by my area. Yeah, Hodge, I damn sure wouldn't either. You know, and like I was saying earlier, don't get me wrong. They have their place, you know, but it's not a cure-all like the government wants us to think it is. That's what makes me mad about how they get on the bandwagon of something and it's supposed to fix everything. One thing's supposed to fix everything. No, that's not freaking. They just don't work. Logistics don't work that way. Whether it's logistics because of the support for the electric vehicle or it's logistics because of the climate. Climate plays a lot of things in this stuff. You know, that's just like in 2026. Is it 26? You know, you're not going to be able to get a Dodge Hellcat that's got the V8 anymore. They're going to make that electric thing. And you can I about died laughing when I read that. Yeah, they're still going to put tailpipes on it and then put speakers in it so it sounds like it's got a V8 in it. So that'll be the next thing for people to do for aftermarket stuff. You can buy you could buy different motor sounds for your electric car. uh, that way you can buy a moped and put a big Detroit V8 in there, you know, make it sound like it's got a 427 quad, you know, dual quads and dual exhaust on it, even though it's just a stupid electric car. I kid you, I about died laughing. I thought, wow, okay. But I guess what teaches their own. I don't know. Anyway, I can I can't afford to buy one that's got a Dodge Challenger in it that's got the Scat Pack in it anyway. A Hellcat, you know. Can't afford to buy one of them now. There again, what's the practicality of owning one of them? If I had the money to buy something like that, I wouldn't buy one anyway. I like the old Detroit muscle cars. That's what I like. You know, Mustangs and Cudas and Challengers. Real Chargers, not a stupid four-door family car with a big engine in it like they've got the Charger now. And if you didn't notice, I didn't mention any Chevy stuff because I have a disdain for Chevy. I cannot stand Chevy. I hate Chevy with a passion. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just me. Now, that ain't saying I wouldn't own any GM cars per se. I just won't own any that have a bow tie. Meaning, I'd own an old Olds 442 Cutlass. Those are pretty good cars. The old Buick GS's. And of course, Pontiac GTOs and those. I've always wanted like a 67 GTO with 389 tri-power. And I like the Firebird way better than the Camaro. And if I was to own a Camaro, there is one Camaro I would own. And that would be one that not many people know that was made. It was a 68 and it had a 302 in it. How many of you guys know that Chevy had a 302 engine? But there was a 68 Camaro that had a 302 in it, and that thing was a mean mofo. Otherwise, I wouldn't own one because I'm not a big Camaro fan. I kind of thought they were ugly. I like the Firebird better. Of course, you're clear to the other end, aren't you? Yeah, if I ever won a lottery and won a big lottery, I'd buy some farm ground. I'd be able to farm with the latest and greatest farm equipment. And then I'd have one huge machinery shed, you know, like a 200 by 100, and be full of old muscle cars. That's cool, Ninja. And I can guarantee you that a couple of them would be Shelbys. I like my Mustangs. Imagine that. I like Fords. But I'd have a 68 GT500. And no, not that stupid Eleanor. Eleanor did not exist. That dumb car was never made. Ever. They've done nothing but ruin Mustang because of that stupid movie. Ugh. It drives me nuts. People throw that stupid Eleanor thing. Oh, I got an Eleanor. I made an Eleanor. Yeah, you made a car that was never made real. Whoopie-doo. So you ruined another Mustang. The closest that car comes to is a 67 GT500. But that's it. That's the closest that it ever comes to. And it wasn't tubbed and didn't have side pipes on it like that stupid car does in the movie. I mean, it's a cool car for what it is. Don't get me wrong, but I just get just have a disdain for that car because so many people think that car was really made and it wasn't made. Shelby never put his name on a car like that. Well, I didn't discredit that plowboy. I said I'd do that too. Only I wouldn't necessarily do the old equipment stuff. Not that I wouldn't have some old stuff too. Some old classic. Like an Alice D21 and a 220 land handler. And are you on here still, Hodge? I'd probably even find me a nice old 1206 too. What do you think of that? And I damn sure wouldn't ruin it like Whistling Diesel did that one he did. That guy got more stupid money than he's got brains. And I know he got it all because of YouTube, but Jesus Christ, anybody that does that to an old classic tractor, and I don't care what color it is, wins the damn thing like he did, and that kid ought to have his ass kicked up between his ears. I mean frickin' hard. Oh, I get it. It's his tractor, but still. And I know that's how he's got so much money, because that's what he does on his channel. But some of the stuff, anyway. Yeah, I cannot believe what he did to that 1206. They did a hell of a nice job restoring that tractor. I think that was a Heritage Iron restoration. And that kid I cannot believe what he did to that thing. Yes, Hodge, he did. If you know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about Whistling Diesel, you go to his site, you go to his YouTube channel, and you watch what he did to that 1206 that he won. He did the same thing to it that he does every damn thing else he owns. He got more frickin' money because of his channel than he's got brains. How people, there's just, okay, fine, that's your channel, your stuff, but there's just certain things you don't do, and that's one of them. Guess what? You didn't see this. Everybody, close your eyes real quick. I'm gonna do an AI move. This is why I do not have crop destruction on. Because every once in a while you gotta do something stupid like that because you weren't paying attention. Yeah, the name of his channel is Whistling Diesel, and that's what it's all about. He tears the shit out of everything. He did it to a 70. Another one that about irked me because I'm a Ford guy, and my favorite Ford pickup is a 79. I really like that body style Ford pickup. Late 78 and 79s with the nice square headlights on them. Those are just sharp looking pickups. And I don't think it was a 79. I think it was a 77 he did it to. But he just tore the living crap out of a 77 Ford High Boy. Just like, what are you doing? There's just certain things you don't do stuff to. But it works for him. He's got, I don't know, millions of subscribers. And, I mean, every dumb little thing he does, he gets all kinds of views. So he's a millionaire off of Facebook or off of YouTube, off of doing stupid shit. Yeah, they were good looking pickups. Matter of fact, that is what I would like to have for a pickup. And what I want to do is I'd like to find like a 3/4 ton, a 79 crew cab, 4-wheel drive, and I'd like to put a do a Cummins swap, put a Cummins in it. I just think that you could make one hell of a sharp pickup, and that's just what I want to do someday. He ruined a cab over Transtar. Maybe what a Transtar 1 or a Transtar 2. Either way, same pretty much body style of cab over. No, I haven't seen that. I watched him once in a while and just shook my head, and he made me mad. And then after I watched what he did to that 1206, I can't watch him. He's a freaking blooming idiot and has no respect for nothing. Either way, no, I did not see him do that. I'm not surprised, but no, I didn't see him do that. You know, like the one episode when he borrowed his granddad's pickup, tore up his granddad's pickup. Wasn't even his pickup, it was granddad's pickup, like an '01 or something like that, Chevy Duramax. Just beat the shit out of it. I'm like, why would you do that to your granddad's pickup? Just because you got the money to buy him a new one, it's still his pickup, you know? I just don't get that. Okie dokie. We got what, 9:30? Let's flip around here. Get this guy unloaded quick. Come on, get it rolling. What? What do you mean there's a problem with the server? The Screaming Detroit. Woo! Does it come with a set of earplugs so you can stand me in the cab of that bad boy? Because we have the farmer that my dad worked for right after we moved over here to this area where I live. After him and mom got divorced, he had a 71. I want to say it was a 71 International Fleet Star straight truck. It was a potato truck, and it had a 671 Detroit in it. Oh, what a screaming demon that thing was. And you couldn't hear yourself think. You know how well them old trucks like that were insulated, you know, for sound deadening and that kind of stuff. And then the Fleetwoods Fleet Star like that had half the engine inside the cab with the doghouse, you know. But I was 10 years, you know, I was what, 12 years old. Well, I still rode around with that screaming thing. Just thought I was just grinning like an old dog, you know. Enjoying my time because I was with Dad. Man, that thing screamed. These deaths, what doesn't matter. Okay. You just take out his hearing aids and you don't have to worry about it, huh? Them old Detroits were good engines. Man, they leaked oil and were loud, obnoxious things. I am a Cummins guy. I like Cummins engines. The old 855 block. That block was around a long time. That was a good old die-hard engine. They kind of Cummins big cam 350s and 400s. And I know there's them guys out there that like what they used to call the 4 1/4 kitty cat, which was a 3406 as far as the model of the engine. And that was a good engine, mind you, but what it cost to run a cat compared to what it cost to run a Cummins back then. You could rebuild about two and a half Cumminses for the cost of rebuilding one cat. And now all of that's totally changed. It's stupid government juice, death and with a 671 and a Dodge 900 single axle. Yeah. She was a screaming, wasn't she? Yeah, she was a screaming. Dad always said in order to know how to really drive a Detroit, you had to slam your hand in the door so you drove it pissed off. Something all them old truckers would tell you about a Detroit. Slam your hand in the door, that way you drove it pissed off and you could get something out of a Detroit. Amazing how things have changed in the last 40 years. I think back like my granddad, he passed away. His birthday would have been last week. His birthday would have been the 4th of May, 2nd of May. Oof. Anyway, it's been 8 years ago he passed away. Miss him every day. I don't know how many times I wish I could sit and just visit with the guy. Not even necessarily have a beer with him, although it was all right to drink a beer or two with him. But just to sit and visit and talk and get that old point of view from them old timers, the and what that man seen growing up. He passed away right before his 92nd birthday, I think. Why that stupid chat keeps doing that? But anyway, he went from he's an old cowboy, and so he he's seen a lot of change in equipment, from feeding cows with workhorses and hay sleds to when he retired off of the ranch, he was feeding cows with a round baler, round bales, and a bale processor on a round bale mover that ground it up into a windrow and was a lot more efficient. The cows ate all the hay, but it just the change that man seen, even from what I've seen in difference in technology in my 48 years, from sitting here talking on a headset and everybody watching me from thousands of miles away and playing on a computer. And when I first was a kid, computers were these huge things that NASA had in a two-story house. Look, it was 3, 4 freaking rooms for one computer, and all it did was assert a few mathematical equations. I got this little dinky lunchbox thing sitting. Well, it's not dinky per se, but sitting right here next to me, and definitely seen changes. So, and there's some things that are all right as far as technology that are good to see for changes, and then there's some things that I think technology has ruined people as a whole. People have gotten a lot lazier, that's for sure. So how's Kobe this evening? Welcome to the chat, buddy. I think you were in here a little bit ago, but yeah, Plowboy, I'll bet you could hear him 4 miles away. That's kind of why when I decided that I wanted to be a diesel mechanic, why I went into diesel mechanics, talking about the differences in what I've seen in advances just myself as far as technology. I graduated high school in 94, went into college in fall of 94, and graduated from college in spring of 95 because I went to Wildtech, and Wildtech was set up on you didn't have to learn history and English and all the other crap in order to be a mechanic. Because you already learned all that stuff in high school. How much more do they need to teach you that in college? They don't, really. I mean, English is English. Heck, they don't even want to teach any of that in high school anymore. So anyhow, um, I thought, it's a good era, a good time to learn how to be a mechanic. As far as to get the name, I've always had a natural knack for being mechanically inclined. I was always tearing stuff apart and putting stuff back together as a kid. Enjoyed doing all that kind of stuff, which I don't. I'm not a diesel mechanic anymore, other than I use it working on the farm. So I guess I still use my degree. But what I'm getting at here is I thought, what a perfect area time to learn how to be a mechanic because you can learn how to work on the old stuff that you can just have this little, the old little dinky toolboxes where you had a couple wrenches in there, a screwdriver, and a crescent, and you could about fix the whole thing on that tractor. From WD-45 Alice's to A's and B's John Deere's to A's and B's and M's and 300s and 350s and 806s and 706, Farmalls and 8N Fords and Jubilees and 901 and 601 Power Masters and Work Masters and Alice 200s and all that stuff, and learn how to work on some of the newer electronic stuff that was coming out at that time. When I was in college, that's when the Cummins N14 was coming out. The Detroit Series 60s had just come out, and Caterpillar, who could not figure out how to make their own electronic injector, which this is something a lot of people don't know about. Caterpillar's first electronic engines, the 3406E, which was what the E stood for, was electronic. It actually had Detroit injectors in it. And does anybody know who helped Detroit design the Series 60 engine? Can anybody tell me that? It's in chat. I remember when I first started hauling silage for my grandpa, it was a GMC Astro silage truck. Yeah, I remember talking about that the other day there, right? About the Astro with Detroit. I remember having to drive it from Nebraska to Texas. Oh my God! You drove that thing from Nebraska to Texas? Oh, Rank, I'll bet you were glad to climb out of that cab of that sucker when you got back to Texas. Oh, man. And not just because of the Detroit part of it, just because they have old trucks like that rode like lumber wagons, But anybody, nobody's got a guess on who helped Detroit designed the Series 60? Because if Hoonigan's on here, he'll get mad. Because he hates him. I'll bet you were, Rank. I'll bet you were. Yeah, man, I'll bet that was a long drive. Whoa. But think, you know, back then, them old over-the-road truckers drove them things every day. Them guys were tough guys. All right. Nobody's got a guess. Nobody's going to throw it in the chat. Who helped Detroit design the Series 60 engine? Just throw a guess out there. I mean, even Keith should have throw me a guess. And it wasn't Penske, who eventually bought out Detroit. You're at a loss. Okay. John Deere. John Deere is who helped Detroit design the Series 60. And I did not want to go that way. I wanted to go this other way. But we'll go around this way anyway. Yep. They were in bed with Detroit at the time because Detroit was up for sale. And so John Deere was helping them design the Series 60. So the block of the Series 60 has got a lot of characteristics of a John Deere block. And they were going to buy him out, and then there was right in the middle of this designing process of the Series 60, there was a big pissing match about something, and so they didn't end up buying him out. I think Penske's ended up who Detroit ended up being bought out by or whatever. But that Detroit Series 60 has been a good engine. I mean, they still make it now. Yeah, I can give you some history lessons. Some history lessons on some useless crap. I'm a history buff, though. I love history. That was my favorite subject in school was history, especially World War II history stuff. Because I don't know if any of you know, but my grandma was full-blood Japanese. I'm quarter Japanese. My granddad met my grandma in the Korean War when he was stationed in Japan. And I can thank them little white things there in the sky. I can thank them for me existing as the entity that I am today. Because here's another little history lesson. Does anybody know that the second atomic bomb was dropped on the secondary target, not the primary target? Fukuoka was the primary target, and it was clouded in. So Nagasaki was a secondary target, and that's where my grandma lived. She lived in Fukuoka during the war. And I've got to go back to Japan when I was 14 in 1989, I think is when we went. Seen family back there. That was quite the eye-opener for a 14-year-old. Nagasaki was the secondary target. It was not the primary target. And they almost didn't drop the bomb on Nagasaki either because it was also clouded in. They had just a little bit of a, they actually flew over twice, I think. And there was a little bit of a break in the clouds the third time over, and it was just enough that they could confirm and drop the bomb. Yeah, see, you watch Neals Farming and Gaming, by God, you never know what we're going to talk about here. Although, I'm going to be like everybody else. Try not to talk about politics and try not to talk about religion. I mean, you don't have to be around me very long to figure out where I stand as far as politics go, but still do my best not to talk about it because I don't want to. You're just better off not bringing that into the channel. That way you don't get into big, huge fights and everybody get all butthurt about something because we all know it seems like these days everybody gets butthurt about anything. Nobody can agree to disagree anymore. The day of, like when you were in high school or even grade school for that matter, going out behind the school and whopping the hell out of each other, and then the next morning giving each other a hug and your buddies again, just don't happen anymore. You got your little tiff over, and whatever your disagreement was, and you might have both had a black eye or fat lip, and you were done with it. You can't do that no more. Yeah, like I said there, Hodge, I liked history. And I'm a huge tractor nut, just a huge tractor nut. That's also part of the reason why I went into diesel mechanics, because when I was a kid, man, I was out in my sand pile playing with tractors all the time. Even though I just grew up on a ranch around horses and stuff, I'd much rather been playing with my tractors and riding horses. So there was a time that you could just throw out a model of a tractor and I could tell you the horsepower rating on it, when it was made, and on. And not so much anymore, but in most any color, even it didn't matter, most any color. Like this thing here where it says New Holland 9884. Yes, it is a New Holland, but it is a carryover from the Ford New Holland, Ford Versatile. So the only thing that's New Holland about this tractor, and even in real life, is the name. There ain't a damn thing about that tractor that New Holland designed. It was all Ford Versatile. Same thing with the Genesis. That didn't have the New Holland Genesises. None of them were, nothing on them were New Holland either. It was all Ford. A little more tidbit of information that has nothing to do with John Deere. Get on the road. I want to hit that tree. Not hit the sign instead. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Anybody new in here tonight? There was a few earlier newer people I hadn't seen. Who all we got in here? I see we got 10 people in here. So we got Hodge and Rank. And I'm sure Plowboy's still probably in here. Hoonigan and Ninja are probably in here. Hoonigan's probably doing editing another huge. He was talking about. I did see his little post today about every 10 episodes he was going to have a big collaboration or something on his time lapse 0 to a million, 110 million, 0 to 100 million, whatever the heck it is, his single player thing is. Looks like the newer John Deere forage harvesters are starting to look somewhat like a Kloss forage harvester because Kloss didn't renew some of their patents. Oh. Well, even though I'm a John Deere guy, oh, anybody ever used to hear the joke about the in the 80s, in the late 70s, what a John Deere engineer designer looked like? How you could pick out a John Deere designer? he was the guy with the camera over on the other colors, taking pictures of everybody else's stuff. And I'm a John Deere guy, and I'm saying that. It used to be a joke back in the 80s. You know, it's kind of like John Deere and the X9 combine acting like it's some new technology, being a twin rotor. I'm sorry, buddy, but it's far from a new technology. It's New Holland had the twin rotor way back in 1970. When did New Holland come out with the twin rotor? 77, 77, 78, somewhere in there. You know, so and then of course the STS series when that came out, and their whole bullet rotor thing, and now that's supposed to be a big new thing, and it's like, it's really not a big new thing. International was one of the early rotor combines. In all reality, I think the actual first rotor combine wasn't that big, that white 9091, that big white thing, that white rotary, wasn't it the actual very first rotor was white? Does anybody know? It seems to me like it was actually right before they came out with their rotor just a little bit earlier than International did. But I can't remember for sure. And they're in Gleaner, they're in there somewhere with the N series and their natural flow. I'm trying to remember. I still think for some reason it seemed to me like that white was the first. What the hell? Holy Toledo! I got 91 subs. Really? Well, thanks, Dev. Wow, sweet, cool. Had 85 the other day and thought that was pretty happy with that. 91 subs. Well, I thank you. That's awesome, guys. Thanks for everybody that has subbed and watching my channel and liking my craziness over here. I'm beside myself. I just can't. It is. one of these days, hopefully, one of these days we'll get to celebrate 1,000. I'm hoping. Where did you go? Oh, you knothead. Get out of the way. Well, I guess. Whoa. What are you? Okay, I don't want to play chicken with you. Where are you going? Attack of the Killer John Deere Combine. Come on. Jeez. Wow. I don't know where he thinks he's going, but you got better get out of his way. Oh, always something crazy going on this here. Maybe that's part of why some people watch me, because they always know something nuts is going to go on. I can guarantee you that. Thank you, Ninja. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here and helping out and being a moderator for me. And Hoonigan, if he's still farting around, if he's lurking. I'm hoping to keep it up. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I'm enjoying putting out the real life farming content. Which, speaking of which, I have got to get that stupid video. Oh, I've got to get that edited so I can get it released from last week. And then I got a surprise for this week. Got me a GoPro. And I did my first recordings on my GoPro today, so we'll see how that turns out. That's a whole new learning process. So hopefully my real life farming series will get improved. And I got a couple. My daughter wanted a drone here a couple years ago for Christmas, so she ended up getting 2 of the things. So I might get them. She hadn't played them at all, so I might get them things dug out and see how well if they'll work. Doing some drone footage. The bad thing is the wind blows all the time around here. It seems like, and you can't have much wind with a drone. They're not very big ones, so I don't know how well they'll work. I don't know if that's something I got to get a way better drone or whatever. But I got access to a couple of them. I thought I'd try them one of these days when the wind ain't blowing, and see if I can get me some drone footage. I'd like to do it here next week before I'm done planting corn. But had a bit of a breeze today, and then this afternoon we've had some storms, a little stormy weather, so it was really, really windy this afternoon. We had dirt devils going and all kinds of things. My granddad used to say that whenever you seen dirt devils, it meant that you were going to get thunderstorms somewhere, because that meant that they have an unstable atmosphere. You're going to answer me a text here real quick, guys. So anyway, I don't know if anybody else has ever heard that from some of the old timers. I'm full of some of that old timer stuff, you know. Death kills bees. Well, I don't like the crap. I'll have to answer that later, buddy. That's why I called it government juice. Another government conspiracy, probably. Anyway. I better not go there. Remember I said no politics, right? That's basically the same thing. Not going to get into conspiracy theories. Although there's some historical conspiracy theories that are pretty interesting. Like the JFK thing, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's just something I always heard. I remember Granddad always talked about dirt devils and dust devils or twister devils. I mean, it kind of depends on where you're from. That he always said that your chances of getting rain was supposed to be better because it meant that you had an unstable atmosphere, which maybe is true for severe weather. There's days I've never seen the dirt devils where we didn't get a dang drop of rain, or you got one of those what I call a western Nebraska 6-inch rain, one of them 6 inches between each drop thing. Excuse me. All right, Michaela. Michaela. Why I have such a goofball hard time with your name. I want to call it Michaela when I know it isn't Michaela at all. Michaela. Yeah, I probably going to call it a stream here in a bit anyway, because we're going almost 2 hours. And it didn't mess up too bad today. Nothing I couldn't get corrected fairly quick anyway. And I swear, it will happen. There will actually be a stream where we can kick the thing right off, and I ain't got any fiddle farting around to do. I can just do it to it. And I even put some of those mods on here last night and started messing around after the stream last night. I didn't try using courseplay, so now I got to figure out what mod I have in here that does not play in well with courseplay that I added. Some script mod probably. How many likes do we got there, Ninja? What am I up to for likes for this stream? And then, wow, what the hell are you doing over here? Which one is this? All right, stupid. Yeah. Dingeldorf idiot. Why in the hell? Let's see what the deal there is. Good thing I'm experienced with courseplay, because some of the stupid stuff courseplay does, I swear. 11? Yeah, promises are promises. Yeah, you're right, Plowboy. You're right. But hey, it's got to be a goal, right? It's got to be. One thing about my channel, you're gonna see up front right away all the crap that can happen with courseplay and everything else. I don't edit that stuff out of my videos, I guess. And I cannot be the only one that has stupid problems with it, because I know that you just can't be. Although the last 2 nights, delay in streams hasn't necessarily been a courseplay or auto driving thing. It's been mod conflicts because I'm trying to have too many mods, and a lot of my single player stuff I hadn't played with for so long that most all of it's still up to date. I always try to do a pretty good job keeping all my script mods up to date. The script mods are important to have the latest and greatest version usually. Well, 11's better than nothing. That's still a decent number. Darn sure not going to complain about 91 subs. Wow, cool. Almost going to hit 9 away from that 100 mark. Wow, I just can't believe that. That's just cool. I have been watching some videos with, what is it called? vid queue or something like that, and it's giving me watching on how to help, gives you hints on how to help grow your YouTube channel. And the last couple of nights, the whole faux pas with you need to have your poop in a group when you're doing a live stream or whatever you're doing, get right to what you're supposed to be doing, which that has not happened. So, but how to do thumbnails and algorithms, and there's a lot of things that they're talking about that a guy needs to do. And they're even talking on there, depends on which one you're watching. I watched a couple different ones today while I was in the tractor. And Athena was talking about how shorts weren't the thing to do, but they're talking like shorts for beginning channels is a definite, you need to do shorts because YouTube's gotten into a, for lack of better terms, a bit of a pissing match with TikTok on short videos for Instagram. TikTok, which I do not have a TikTok account. So they're really pushing their shorts algorithms, and they don't care if you have 1,000,000 subs or if you have 2 subs. They're going to throw you in the algorithm for the shorts. And that's like that first short that I threw out there, and it got 900 some views within, I ain't kidding you, it was like, blew me away. 900 some views within first hour or something. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. You know, and I even and it's a short for the RLF, for the real life farming stuff, but I still published it under the gaming category and farming sim. And that's why I was asking Dirt Farmer yesterday if he was separating his real life farming stuff from his gaming stuff, and he said he was. He was putting his farming stuff under vlog or whatever, and then leaving his farm stuff under gaming, which that's what I've been doing. But here lately, I've just been putting it all under gaming because, from what I understand, it really screws with your algorithms by changing your category that you're doing. So, like him and I, where we have a double channel in one channel, it's not so good to do, from the way I understand it. So, and I'm not going to be giving anybody any information saying this is how you need to do it, obviously, because I'm still not at 1,000 subscribers. But it makes sense to me from what everybody's told me not to be messing with that, because in all reality, what I should have done, from what I understand, is I should make 2 separate channels, one for just gaming and one for the farming. But most people that like Farming Simulator are people that like to watch real farming stuff too. So that's why I've decided to just go ahead, and even my real life farming stuff, I've just been putting it under gaming and farming sim. Whether it's the right thing to do or not, I have no idea, but they are actually some of my better, most of my real life farming video stuff are some of my better viewed content. Especially over some of my single player stuff that I've released. But not that my single player stuff's been all that exciting per se. Boy, we about got this field of triticale whipped out, boys. Gals, if there's any gals in here, I believe. I'll probably just go ahead and run this live stream till we get this field done, and then we'll call it a live. We'll call it quits after the field's done. But anyway, so as I was saying, they were claiming how shorts are one of the better things to do now because of how the algorithm is just pushing it. It doesn't care how big the channel is. So I don't know. We'll see. And then Athena, who a good friend of mine, she was saying how shorts aren't very good because you'll gain subs from them, but they don't seem to stay. So I don't know who to believe on all of that. I guess the best thing to do is do a little bit of everything. Well, they did it good at first, but lately they aren't pushing my videos, at least for you. Well, I mean, that's, I don't know what to tell you, Plowboy. I think it's all a crap, a roll of the dice, you know. I mean, from what I understand, that one of your most important thing is your click-through rates and your view rates. And click-through is really important because you need to do something to keep, and that's why I'm, you know, like my live streams here the last couple of days where I'm screwing up right at the beginning. That is a very big no-no. You want to be going and ready to go, and whether it's a single player video or any kind of video, whether it's a short, whatever, replay of a live stream. From what I understand, that first 30 seconds is the biggest importance on any kind of video. And you got to be able to keep, you know, for one, you got to get them to drive, you got to have a good thumbnail to drive them to your channel forward. Two, after you get them there, you need to retain them. And that's what they're referring to with the click-through rate, meaning they need to stay longer than the first 30 seconds. From what I understand, and I'm even looking at my own analytics, you lose a lot of people in that first 30 seconds. So you got to be able to get them to your channel, and then you got to be able to keep them there by keeping and capturing their interest for that first 30 seconds. So like tonight's live stream and the other night's live stream where I had a bunch of crap going on at the very beginning, you get them in there, and then you're sitting there and they're looking at a loading screen, or they're looking at me click through mods and stuff. That's not a good way to keep, I mean, not a good way to gain any new subscribers. Now, my subscribers I already have who are used to that, which is still not good for your viewership. You're not going to, you know, you're not going to lose subscribers necessarily because of that, but you're not going to gain it, from what I understand. By no means am I telling people what we need to be doing. I am not a big enough channel to be giving advice. I'm just repeating what I have watched on that vidIQ channel and a couple other YouTube builder channels, which has been some pretty interesting stuff. You know, the other thing I learned too, when you're making a thumbnail, you need to make it so it catches their eye, but it doesn't need to be, it shouldn't be too busy. And if you think about a lot of farm sim thumbnails, they're always fairly busy, whether it's texts, you know, or a lot of pictures or whatever. So that's why tonight, if you notice my thumbnail tonight was, I tried not to have as much on it as far as text go. Whether I achieved anything besides that, I don't know. I just, so there again, and then of course while you're doing your content, you need to have a content that people like to watch, and ramble on about yada 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 sometimes isn't the best thing either. But hey, I know who my viewers are, and You're either going to like me for who I am and my goofball ramblings and my rants and my opinionations and my upfrontness, or you won't. Simple as that. Like me for who I am, and I'll like you for who I am. Well, all I can tell you, Plowboy, and this is something that I watched today also. Look at your videos from uh, 3 months ago, and see what you were doing on those videos where you got the 500 views, compared to what you're doing now, where you're only getting 10 views. That's part of it. Some of the other things, and I'm not very good at doing this yet, that's important is your title. Make sure if you're doing farm sim content, make sure you have farm sim in your title somewhere. That's why it's one of the things, you notice I started, all of my titles now have FS222 in them somewhere. That's something that's supposed to be important because that helps kick off the search part of the algorithm and the browse part. And then tags. Make sure you're putting as many tags in there as you can. Now, I kind of cheated on the tags thing because Athena had a deal that helped show had a program that helped her come up with the tags for mine. So all I do with my tags, now that I have all of them, I just copy and paste. That's another thing you need to do, and another one of the things I'm not good at right now is in your description, keywords. Keywords that will drive people to your channel is important also, from what I understand. So when you're doing descriptions, you need to have, farm sim or John Deere or something along those lines. It's something that's going to pop up in the browse. See? Well, it's supposed to be FS22 because that's one of the things I was trying to do today. And shorts, yeah, I mean, like I said, the perfect example of what makes no sense on the shorts thing is everybody says, and this is one of the things I watched today. They're talking about when you're supposed to a video, whether it's a short, a replay of a live stream or a regular video, you're supposed to be posting between 11 and 1 and 4 and 6. Well, so I posted, like I said, that first short that I posted. I just come home, threw it out there. There's another one of those windy days where I couldn't really record much. So I was in a tractor, and I don't remember what that first short was about. Oh, I know. It was about the Plant 2023 started, and yeehaw, and good luck to everybody or whatever. And it got like 40 views within the first 10 minutes. And I'm like, how in the hell did I get 40 views on a stupid short with just throwing it out there with not much of a title, no thumbnail, and I worked my butt off on a thumbnail and a single player thing, and I get 5 views, right? Well, kind of find out about it, it's a whole different algorithm on how they're doing the pushing them, for one. But the biggest example of that is I uploaded the short, was it last week? Of what short was that? Drawn blank, but it had 1,700 views. Can't think of the title or the name, which short that is. It's not the breakfast one, because I thought the farmer breakfast one would do good, and it didn't. It's only got 300 and some views last I had looked. But anyway, I uploaded that short at 11 o'clock at night, which is not supposed to be when you're supposed to be uploading videos, right? And within the first 20 minutes, that thing had 900 and some views. So I'm thinking, well, geez, I need to be starting doing more of these shorts things. Because if you're getting views, you're getting traffic to your channel, even though it's not much, right? So that's when I did that next. That's when I uploaded. So I thought, well, fine, I will upload the farmer breakfast one, and we'll upload it, and I'll do it so it's a scheduled release for like 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's when it's like it comes out. It's like so I can get on my phone, and the one about pivots, okay, yeah, farm with pivots. They said it would be fun. They said, but it's in your way thing, right? Anyway, so. And I thought that, the farmer breakfast thing would be a little funnier or a little more catchy or whatever. And didn't get hardly shit for views on that. And I'm like, so the shorts are a definite crapshoot on what you're going to get for views, but I do think they're important. I think it's all important. Consistency. That is the biggest thing is consistency. So you set up a schedule and you consistently, if you're going to tell yourself that your schedule is for like me, where I'm live streaming Monday, Wednesday, and it's supposed to be Saturdays, where I didn't end up doing Saturday, which is fine. So that's why I did Sunday. Either way, be consistent about your videos. Meaning, I can't put out 2 this week, and then next week I don't put any out for a couple of weeks, and then I'll put out 3 or 4, and I've been really consistent about my single player stuff has not been consistent as far as single player videos, just because I just right now don't have the time. So that's why I've decided that I am going to be consistent about doing my live streams. Hey Keith, welcome back. You're over there lurking, I see. But yeah, I know it's crazy. Them short things are crazy because and then I've had another one where it's what it's not 1,700, but it's like 1,200. So they just don't make sense to me. But according to what I've been watching, they are important in an easy way for people. They're claiming they're important to get on that bandwagon and start pumping them out. So, and then I of course hadn't recorded any for a couple about 5 days because of what Athena and Bella Sin was talking about the other day about she got a bunch of subs off of shorts and then turned around and they unsubbed to her a couple days later. So I don't know. I think it's just you just gotta work at it. I guess that's all there is to it, and strive to do a better job of whatever you're doing. And that's why I'm gonna keep watching those vidIQs and trying to learn. And I'm one of them that when I watch stuff like that, I gotta watch it 3 or 4 times before something sinks in. It's kind of like when I'm one of them that I can read a book if it's okay, if it's like a history book, I can remember it and that kind of stuff. But if I'm reading reading a book because uh, I um, because I'm reading a manual on how to fix something or something like that, I got to read it 3 or 4 times as opposed to I just put my hands on it type thing. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I get it, Plowboy. That's what I mean. YouTube's algorithm is just weird. And like I said, from what I understand, the shorts algorithm is separate from regular videos even. So and it has to do with the search thing. And I understand why a video coming out, whether it's a short or a regular video, according to Athena 2, that the best time to release videos is definitely that lunchtime period, which makes sense because if you have normal people that have a lunch break and everybody's got one of these stupid smartphones, and this is also why the shorts thing is getting to be important because people take lunch break, and what do they do while they're on their lunch break? Whether they're sitting in a lunch room or a tractor cab, eating their lunch or wherever, even at home, during that hour off from whatever their job is, this first thing they do is they stick that thing into their nose, and so that's why releasing videos over a lunchtime is important because you release a new video, pops up into their search, and there they are watching it. So what I probably should do is I should try to force myself to try to do one single player recording a week, and where I'm not going to have live streams on Thursday, Fridays, I should try to do a single player one of those nights. And then of course there's the fancy editing and all that kind of stuff. They're also saying, like I was talking about, from what I was watching, there's also talking about how um, not to, where that first 30 seconds of your video is important to capture your audience and keep them there. They're saying, how all these, I was talking to Rabbit Rob how I wanted to do an intro to my videos, and they are saying, vidIQ is saying, do not do that. That is a killer to your channel right away. And I'm thinking, well, gee, all these big guys that I know, like, well, not necessarily Kadurk, but like, Farm Sim guy, he's got an intro, and bunch of people got intros and stuff. Well, they're saying not to do intros because if you're trying to capture that audience for that first 30 seconds, it's supposed to be so crucial to your channel. Um, if you're doing whatever your niche is, and you get, you have your title screen or your thumbnail, and you throw your video out there and you're getting right to whatever your video is about, they're going to sit there, they're supposed to capture their attention and they're going to stay there and watch it, where they're saying if you're using an intro to your video, you're killing it because they're watching your intro. They're not watching what the video is supposed to be about. So, anyway, I guess maybe here I was worried about not having an intro, and from what research I've done, maybe I don't need it. Welcome to the stream, Farmer Steve. Um, good morning there. It is 10:30 my time here in Nebraska, United States. So it's and we're just about done with the stream. So unfortunately, you're kind of catching me here on the tail end of it, but I'm glad you dropped in and said hi at least. So, if anybody has been watching my stream still in here, I'm not going to say this very often because I don't want to beg, borrow, and steal, but I am small enough that please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps the channel immensely. And I'm kind of drawing blank here. We're done with the field that we were doing, and got a new guy in here, and I hate to leave, but we're kind of done with what we were going to do tonight. We got that one field done, and don't really necessarily have anything I need to rant about. I already did all that, so still kind of setting up the old single player here. don't have everything done. But anyway, either way, welcome. And if you have a YouTube channel yourself there, Steve, I'll make sure I go over to your channel and check you out, and I will subscribe to you also. I'm all about helping out my fellow farm sim community people for show the farm sim love. And as you can see, we ain't got a whole lot of equipment in here yet. We got a few things out in the field we're harvesting. Yes, as Hoonigan gives me a bad time for in my green stuff, I do prefer John Deere, but I like a few other colors. And one of the next things I want to do, as far as this save goes, is I don't know if we're going to put it in this field for sure, because that field ain't quite right, but we might put one over here in this field to the north. But I want to start messing with the pivot mods that we have and start figuring them mods out, because and that. So anyway, what do we got over here? Sunflowers, and what the heck's this stuff? Cotton, cool. And I believe this is a 4X map is what county line is. But it's got some pretty good sized fields in it. I don't know, I just like this map. I've liked it ever since it was out in come out in 17. And let's get my running multiplier up so I can zoom around in flight mode here. And I did not realize that it actually had a real beet piler in here. That was added. That was not in the first one. But here's another farm over here. I don't remember which farm this is, if this is a dairy farm or what, but there's a little farm here. And here's the BGA. I mean, there's a lot of different places you can have farms on here. And this is the horse farm where you sell your hay. This is where the bale sale point. This has stayed the same since 17. Was also one of the first maps that had a static just look for looks pivot on it. And here's this pivot that looks just for looks, but it's still on here. And then over here is another farm. As you can see, it's hilly. It's not flat. You know, you got like Farm Sim Guy and some of them other guys who don't particularly care for square fields. This map dang sure hasn't got very many just square fields, and that's one nice thing about it too. And even up here for you guys that seem to like them crazy logging. Anyway, there is some logging that can be done on this map too, but it's darn sure not its focus. Oh, see, and I didn't even realize that was there. Come on. Anyway, I didn't realize that what the heck? Didn't realize that pivot was there. Really? So why are you stuck all of a sudden? Stupid, 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 stupid game. Guess they got tangled up with a duck. Anyway, I didn't realize that that big long pivot was over here. That one, I don't remember that being in the original version of this map. Anyway, and they have changed. See, it's stuck again. Anyway, they have changed the town some because they got the sell point in a different place than it used to be. Anyhow, enough of that. There. But yeah, the sell point used to be right here where they got this this productions. This is where the sell point used to be, and now they've changed it to where it's over here. This is the sell point now. I don't know. I like it. I like how the fields aren't round or aren't all exactly the same. There's some hills to it. There's another farm over here. Yeah, you can have another farm over here. So there's some places you can have farms. You don't have to be all the same place. There's a little farm over here, but this one's not usable, I don't think. And then I think there was a farm down here at one time. I think there used to be a farm down here, but he put a productions in here. Whoever did this convert. But anyway. I plan on doing some stuff on this map because I do like this map, being as I can't come up with the map that I really want as far as to try to build using landscaping mode and placeables and stuff for trying to make the map where I actually work in real life. I need to go with Hoonigan. He said something about some map I could use the other night, and I already forgot what map he was saying it was. But anyway, it's now 10:35 and makes that 12:35 in Eastern time, so it's getting to that point where I need to call it a stream. Yeah, it went about 2.5 hours now. That's plenty long for a stream, especially during the week. And wow, 91. Is that right? Is that what you said there, Ninja? 91? That's what I'm up to for subscribers? I'm just beside myself. Thank you for everybody that has subscribed. Um, Thank you for popping in your early morning there, iFarmer Steve. I appreciate you coming in and checking me out. Uh, Love getting to know people from across the great ponds and different points of view from across the world and different ways of farming. It's fun to learn some different stuff and meet new people because they're just as good of people across the ocean as there is here. So um, hit that like and subscribe button if you would, and I'll come check your channel out too, and I'll subscribe to you. And anyhow, enough rambling on. Just thank you for everybody that's helped my channel get to where it's at. Thank you for Ninja for being a moderator for me. Thank you Hoonigan for being here. Thank you Plowboy and anybody else I'm forgetting here. Hodge, Keith, all you guys for coming in and putting up with my craziness during the night and taking time out of your day to watch me. I really appreciate it. And you have a good day over there, Steve. And With that said, we're going to call this a stream, so we'll catch everybody else on the flip side. Don't forget, keep that rubber side down.